On a remarkably average spring day in the seaport town of Duluth, Minnesota, an impossible shop owner by the name of Oliver Madrigal was on his way to work. Mr. Madrigal had been living at the bottom of Lake Superior for the better part of 3 years, ever since his house had been pulled into the water by a massive flood. And so, each morning he traveled to a small antique shop on the corner of First and Superior Street he had owned for nearly 20 years. A seemingly normal shop that was, in fact, unlike any other in town.
Welcome to Madrigal's Antiquarium, where nothing is impossible and no problem is too small. How can I help you?
My mother-in-law hates me.
I'm sure she doesn't hate you.
No, he's right. I do hate him.
Follow me then.
My wife is out of town. I can't get her sleep. I've tried everything.
I've got just the thing.
My idiot boyfriend picked me up for prom on his motorcycle.
Don't worry, honey. I've got just the thing.
I lost it.
Lost what?
My great-grandmother's wedding ring.
Let me see what I have in the back. This necklace should filter out anything that's bothering you.
Is it working?
Oh, Mr. Madrigal, you are good.
Just make sure you cover your ears while it's playing.
Huh?
Is this the ring you're looking for?
Oliver Madrigal congratulated himself on a fine day's work with a refreshing glass of lemonade. He couldn't, however, shake the vague sense of unease that sat in the pit of his stomach. It was as if he had neglected to remember something vitally important.
Maddie, what day is your thing again? Maddie? Shit.
Nice of you to make an appearance.
Are you kidding? I wouldn't miss this for the world. I got these for you.
I'm allergic.
Since when are you allergic?
These are literally the only flowers I can't have.
Well, I'm sorry.
Are you sorry for being late, too?
I don't understand.
Are you sorry for being late?
It's 8 o'clock.
For the second time?
You noticed that?
How could I not?
I just lost track of time at the shower.
Oh, you cannot use that excuse again.
We had a very busy day, and my daughter wasn't there to help me.
You promised me this time. You said you would be here.
I am here.
Only because you cheated?
I hardly call what I did cheating.
You moved the sun. Oh, thank you so much for coming. I mean, why even ask you to be somewhere at a specific time if you're just going to ignore it?
You know, I don't have to be here at all. I came down, I bought you flowers. I made an effort.
You actually think that? You didn't go out of your way. You didn't make time for me.
Yes, I did. That's exactly what I did. I literally created more time for you.
I can't do this right now.
Hold on a second.
No.
I'm not finished yet.
Well, tough. This night isn't about you.
Why can't you just give me a break?
Why can't you just admit that you're wrong?
Madeline Madrigal, I haven't been wrong about a single thing in 16 years. And if you think I'm about to lose that streak over some amateur art gallery... Oh, come on. That clearly wasn't a comment about the quality of your work.
Right. Just the value of it.
Look, I know a lot of people here like your pictures. I do too, by the way. But I also know a thing or two about value.
Can you hear yourself when you talk? You fix small, insignificant problems by selling people crap that should be on display.
Oh, now you're sounding like Randall.
Well, maybe that's fitting.
Why is that?
He just walked in.
If you were to ask Oliver Madrigal who the villain of our story is, the answer would be, unequivocally, Randall Gorman. A private collector, Mr. Gorman derived great pleasure in withholding mystical items from his rival. Their mutual contempt dates back to the two men's formative years, where ideological differences drove them to a formal duel that took place on the north shore of Lake Superior. The men were 12 and 14, respectively. Needless to say, Randall Gorman was, and always had been, kind of a dick.
Good evening, Madeline.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Gorman.
Please call me Randall. I was delighted to receive your invitation.
Well, we're delighted to have you. It means so much to me.
Anything I can do to support the arts. Oliver, sorry I didn't see you there. How's business?
Fine. Thank you.
Madeline, do you think I could have a word alone with your father? I promise to be civil.
No, it's not you I'm worried about.
Your daughter really has a wonderful eye, Oliver. I envy her perception of depth. Can't imagine where she gets it.
You can drop the act, Randall. What are you playing at?
Whatever do you mean?
I mean, you're trying to turn my own flesh and blood against me.
I think you'll find that you've done an impeccable job of that yourself. I merely offer her support where she seeks it.
I'm sure she appreciates the depth of your pocketbook. But Maddie already has a father. If anything, you're the creepy uncle who doesn't get invited to reunions.
I do so ever enjoy your witticisms. Unfortunately, I'm not so much in a laughing mood. What with the news?
What news is that?
You haven't heard. Saira Chowdhury passed away in his sleep last night.
You're kidding.
I'm afraid not. Poor thing, so charitable. The executor of her will phoned me this morning.
The executor called you. Why you? You're after the Saraswati.
Guilty as charged.
You know I've wanted that book for years.
I do, and it's going to feel so good keeping it safe in my collection where your pathetic little customers can't get their hands on
The
it.
tome of the Saraswati belongs somewhere it can actually do some good.
The tome of Saraswati belongs to the highest bidder just like the rest of her estate. You'll have your fair chance at it.
You couldn't make a deal.
The family's lawyer is some child who's determined to be as unflinching as possible. It's a roadblock. But nothing changes the fact that you could never raise enough money to outbid me, even if you sold your precious antiquarium. Now, if you'll excuse me, I would like to buy this riveting piece.
That night, Oliver Madrigal found himself unable to sleep as his mind was haunted by the Tome of Saraswati. For years he had been captivated by its deceptively simple function. When opened, its blank pages could magically fill with the words of anything ever written. Ancient texts lost to history and the most secret of documents could be immaculately reproduced from thin air. Brimming beneath the simple confines of its parchment was all knowledge in the known universe.
So basically, it's a Kindle.
Excuse me?
The tome. It's kind of like a Kindle. Welcome to Madrigal's Antiquarium, where nothing is impossible and no problem is too small. How may I help you?
Yeah, hi. This might sound a bit weird, but I found this in my toilet bowl this morning.
Oh, he did not.
The message inside said to come here.
I'm sorry. My dad doesn't really get texting.
Your father is Oliver Madrigal.
Yep. I'm Maddie. Who are you?
I'm Trevor Price.
It's okay, Maddie. I'll take it from here. Why don't you run that upstairs for me, please?
Yes, sir.
So, welcome to Madrigal's Antiquarium, Mr. Price, where nothing is impossible.
Already did it.
Of course. Would you like a seat, Mr. Price?
Thank you. No, I'd prefer to stand. As you can imagine, my time is quite valuable. If we could get straight to the point.
Yes. As you may have noticed, I specialize in the appropriation of items with unusual properties.
I had gathered as such, yes.
And as her executor, you must be aware that Sarah's collection is not exactly of the average variety.
The contents of the Chaudry estate are varied, and the complete list is not yet available to the public. Is there something specific you would like to discuss?
He wants the tome.
Of Saraswati.
Yes.
Mr. Madrigal, I will tell you the same thing I told Mr. Gorman. All items have been arranged to be sold at auction. There's nothing more I can do.
Nothing more you can do? Or will do?
Will do.
I can see you're a man of resolve, Mr. Price. I'm sure your firm must be grateful to have you.
To be honest, I don't think they like me very much.
Oh, I'm sure we could change that. Well, there's plenty of things in my shop that would make your boss's lives a lot easier.
No,
Oh, well,
that's
just
not...
give me a second here. Wait right here. I'll show you.
Is he always like this?
Unfortunately.
What are you reading?
The Silent Husband.
Wow! I read that in grad school.
Yeah?
Yeah, Esther Alden, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not really sure I agree with everything she says, but it's really interesting.
I'm only on the 3rd chapter.
Oh, well, keep going. It gets a lot better once she moves on from penis envy.
That's great, because I was really...
Well, you two seem to be really getting along.
Oh, Mr. Price.
Oh, Trevor.
Trevor and I have the same taste in literature.
In art, really.
Isn't that something? Well, Maddie, you should really take him to see her gallery.
Well, oh, you're an artist?
Photographer.
She does these wonderful pictures. You would really love them.
I can speak for myself. Thank you.
Well, I wasn't lying when I said that I was busy, but maybe sometime after the auction.
Sure.
Great.
So you didn't find what you were looking for then?
What?
The item you were looking for.
Oh, guess I'm just going to have to wait for the auction like everyone else. Sorry to have kept you waiting.
It was not a problem. It was nice to have met you both.
You have a really nice day, Mr. Price. A really great day.
Thank you.
Yes.
You too. If you ever need to contact me again, though, let's try the phone this time, shall we?
Oh, God, Mr. Madrigal, you are good.
Whoa, what are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing?
It looks like you're trying to hug me.
Can a man hug his own daughter?
You haven't hugged me since I was 8.
Stop exaggerating. This is exactly what we do.
Can you please let me in on your little plan so I can stop you from doing something stupid?
Only if you ask me nicely.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Are we entirely sure that you're my daughter?
I am going to hurt you.
Okay, I surrender. Do you really want to know?
In spite of myself, I do.
I made him fall in love with you.
Excuse me?
I used the locket to make Price fall in love with you. Isn't that brilliant?
No, it's not. That is incredibly offensive.
Oh, come on, it's just a little fun.
You took away a person's free will.
So he likes you for a few days. What's the harm in that?
And I suppose part of your plan involves me convincing him to give you the book.
What? Of course not. All that matters is my approval. He'll do anything to get it.
It's wrong.
It's temporary.
Undo it. Undo it right now. That poor man.
Not until I get my book.
It's not your book.
It will be.
I quit then.
What?
I don't want to work here anymore. Not if you're just going to use me.
Madeline.
Don't. Please.
Maddie! Hi!
Trevor, what are you doing here?
I got another message from your father.
Of course you did.
But he said I might find you here.
Well, you found me.
Is something wrong?
You know he's only after that book, right?
I'm aware. But I also sort of wanted to ask you out.
Why?
There has to be a reason? I just want to get to know you. Maybe we go have a cup of coffee or something.
I'm really sorry, but I can't tonight.
Well, some other time then?
Sure, some other time.
Well, here, you can have this anyway. It's Esther Alden's second book. I thought you might enjoy it after you finish The Silent Husband.
That's actually really nice. Thank you.
Well, I guess I will see you later then. Have a good night.
Trevor? It's just a cup of coffee.
You betcha. I mean, that's the entire reason I moved up north. I just wanted to be geographically as far away from them as I could.
That's so sad. I mean, I can't imagine living that far away from my dad, even if he does drive me crazy.
Well, what about your mother?
She's not too far. She lives in St. Paul with her husband.
Yeah, see, I don't think my parents could occupy the same state. At least not without starting a civil war.
So that's how the Price family deals with its problems? Fight or flight?
It certainly seems that way, doesn't it? I took the flight option.
You coward.
I take the battles that I can win, which is most of them, as long as my father doesn't get involved. He was always so controlling, so manipulative. You know, it didn't matter how many times I got let down. If I end up in the same room as him, I have no control.
What a healthy relationship you two have.
Oh, yeah. We're very close. But that's just the bad stuff, though. I really do care about him. He is one of the most ridiculous men I have ever met. What?
You really want to go there?
What?
My father lives in a house at the bottom of Lake Superior.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty weird.
Yeah. And when we fight, it's like there's no way in the world he could ever be wrong. I mean, most of the time, he doesn't even get why I'm angry.
I'm sure that's a little more than stressful.
God, maybe I should try meditating or something.
Hey, do you want to see what I do when I need to de-stress?
As long as it's wholesome.
Come on.
Wait, we're leaving?
Nipple twister!
Hairy asshole!
You're coming up with some...
God damn it! Wow, that is extremely satisfying.
See, I told you.
How often do you do this?
Depends on how stressed I am at work. Or if my mother calls.
You're a little bit weird, aren't you?
I'm pretty good at hiding it, though. Can I ask you a question?
Sure. Was that the question? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
What's wrong?
I can't do this. I shouldn't have done that.
Done what?
Tonight was a mistake. You didn't choose to be here. You didn't choose to fall in love with me.
Whoa, I'm not in love with you.
What?
Well, I mean, not that I couldn't be. Eventually, don't you think that's a little premature?
Of course I do. It's just that the spell should have...
What? What spell?
The spell my father used to make you fall in love with me.
And you went along with that?
No. I quit because of it.
I don't like to be controlled, Maddie. All right, I spent a long time getting away from people that treat me that way.
I know you have, and I know I should have told you immediately. It's just... I guess I thought it would wear off.
You realize that makes it sound like you drugged me.
No, but I didn't, because the locket didn't work. Wait, why didn't the locket work?
My firm deals with magic on a daily basis, okay? Eventually, you build up a tolerance.
To magic?
Okay, yeah, it's not a perfect answer. I don't know. What I do know is that I came out here to be with you because I like you.
That's the only reason I came out here, too, is because I like you. Not because of some stupid book.
Okay, yeah, no, the book isn't stupid. I mean... You know, off the record, I'd rather your father have it than someone like Mr. Gorman.
No, Randall's actually not so bad. It's their petty rivalry that screws everything up.
Someone should really teach those two a lesson.
Someone should.
Yeah?
Yeah. The kind of lesson that'll make them think twice before using us again.
Yeah, I like the way you think.
How do I know you're not just saying that because you love me?
Where's that locket?
Madrigal! You have 30 seconds to find that executor before I start throwing chairs at you!
Oh, Madeline! You just missed it. You should have seen his face. It was magical. Better than I could have ever hoped for.
What are you talking about?
Randall! He was absolutely livid when he saw the sign. Oh, I can't believe we did it.
Did what?
Oh, don't you play coy with me. I saw the way you two were looking at each other, slipping off into private rooms.
Dad?
I'm not judging. You're a grown woman. You're a very clever young man. Yes, very clever. So, where is it? I can't wait to finally hold it.
Part?
The tome! When can I have it?
Mr. Madrigal,
Please call me Oliver.
Mr. Madrigal, I'm afraid there's been some sort of miscommunication.
Nonsense. The sign says the tome's been sold.
The tome has been sold, yes, but not to you. The firm received an offer on it last night, and we accepted.
Excuse me, but that's impossible.
I'm afraid not.
I made arrangements.
With this, you mean?
What did you do?
Exactly what needed to be done.
This is an antique, young lady. I want an explanation now.
There you are! You scheming bastard. You stole my book.
I've done no such thing.
You never could play fairly, could you? Always using your little tricks.
Mr. Gorman, please.
And you? How dare you back out of our arrangement?
We had no arrangement.
To be sold at auction. That was the arrangement. And now you've gone and sold it to this narcissistic old windbag.
Mr. Madrigal has not purchased the tome either.
Come again?
The tome of Saraswati was sold late last night to a third party.
A third party?
A third party?
That's what he said.
So neither of us get to have it.
I'm afraid not.
You're nothing but a common crook, Mr. Price.
Finally, we agree on something. Is it even here?
The tome is being held in a private room waiting for its new owner to collect it.
A private room.
Dad?
Private room?
Oliver!
Mr. Gorman!
Maddie?
Yeah.
Let go of it!
Yeah, Dad, I'm gonna be a little late. I'll walk the dog when I get home, I promise.
Get the car. Out of the way!
Give me that book. That's my book!
Give me that book. Yes, you wanted it.
It's my book,
Is
Randall.
it your book?
It's my book, damn you!
Come,
It's
come,
my book!
come get it.
My book,
Is it your book?
My book.
Come get it. Come get it.
Yes, it's tough. It's poison. It can't be ruined. My God, Dad. My book, where's the book? Dad.
By all accounts, the auction itself was far less exciting than the events leading up to it. Randall, in a surprising display of compassion, not only mitigated the authorities on Oliver's behalf, but also volunteered to compensate the Chaudhry family for their destructive feud. Oliver, however, retreated to his beloved shop, consumed by an overwhelming sense of guilt.
We're closed.
That's okay, I work here.
Madeline?
Well, that was a disaster.
I suppose you're right.
What were you thinking?
I wasn't. I wanted it, so I took it. Your father's a common thief.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, that is an accurate description.
Maddie, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have used you to get to Trevor. That was wrong.
Wow. An honest apology? Admission of guilt? We're charting new territory here.
I suppose you're right. You want to know the first thing I was going to do with the tome? When your mother and I first started dating, I was going to school in New Hampshire, and she was going to school right here in Minnesota. Of course, this was before text messaging, so we'd write each other letters. Your mother wrote these remarkable, elegant letters. She was always so much smarter than me. Anyway, when the divorce was finalized, was angry and stupid. And I burned them up.
All of them?
Every single one of them. But don't get me wrong, I'm happy for your mom. And we were toxic together. But I'd really like to read those letters again.
I have a confession to make.
What's that?
You know that third party? The one who purchased the tome?
Oh, Lord, Maddie, don't remind me.
No, it's not what you think. It was me.
What?
It was me. I'm the third party.
You bought the tome?
For your shop. Well, before you ruined it.
What is this?
Purchase documents. Proof of sale.
How could you ever afford this?
I made a deal with Mr. Price.
A deal, huh?
Mm-hmm. The kind where Madrigal's Antiquarium gives 10% of this year's profits to the charity of the Chaudhry family's choosing.
Really?
Really?
That's actually rather impressive.
I thought so. The Chaudhry family has more money than they know what to do with.
You did this for me, even when I was acting like a jackass? Why?
You're my father. I don't care about some book, but I do care about seeing you happy.
I love you.
I know.